Welcome to Kings and Queens accounting class. We're now going to be moving on to the second half of our lesson on 2015 past paper. Please join me now. Question 31. How does an increase in bad debt affect a sole trader's financial statement? How does an increase in bad debt affect a sole trader's financial statement? And our answer is D. It will decrease the net profit. Why? Because bad debt is an expense. Bad debt is an expense, and therefore it will reduce our net profit. Let's go to question 32. Question 32 says control accounts are kept in order to assist management in, and our answer is D, locating errors. D is the appropriate answer, locating errors. Let's now go to question 33, and where item 33 refers to the following information on the 31st of January. Yes, cash, the cash book and the bank statement of a business revealed the following. And they showed us here unpresented check, cash book balance on the 30th of January, bank charges not yet entered in the cash book, and deposits, yes, deposit not credited on the bank statement for the period ending the 31st of January. Let's see what they ask of us. The balance on the bank statement will be, so we're asked to find the balance on the bank statement. Now, how do we do that? We're starting with the cash book balance of $680. We're going to subtract the $25 from that, and then we're going to add the $350, which is the unpresented check, and then we will subtract the deposit not entered in the bank, $210, and our answer should be $795. So our answer should be $795, which is B. Let's go to the next question. We're told here that the standing order of $25 for insurance appears in the debit column of the bank statement. This amount does not appear in the cash book. How is this item treated in order to update the cash book? All right. So we're looking at this question now. They say, look at the stem of the question. A standing order of $25 for insurance appeared on the debit column of the bank statement. All right, so that means it is not on the credit side of the cash book. Standing order is really an expense to the company or to the business. So we will credit the bank account with that $25. So A is the appropriate answer. So now we're at question 25. Item 35 refers to the following information provided by K, a sole trader. And the question they ask us is, what is K's credit sales for the month of May? Let's examine this. This question has to do with control accounts. Yes, control accounts. So we would debit the sales ledger balance of $3,000. Yes, would credit the return out inwards of $500. Credit the bad debt account information for $200. Would also credit in that sales control account for $100. The cash received from debtors would be credited as well for $7,000. And of course, on the credit side, we'll have the closing balance of $4,000. So what answer should we get when we add and subtract from the debit and the credit, it should be, answer should be B, $8,800. So the answer should be $8,800. All right, let's move to question 36. Question 36 says, which of the following can be determined from the opening statement of affairs? And our answer for question 36 would be the capital. All right, it is opening asset at start minus the liability at start will give us our capital. So B is the appropriate answer. Let's go to 37. Question 37 is relating to this statement above. Inventory at the 1st of January is 1,500. The purchases during the month is 1,200. The cost of goods sold is 1,400. We're asked to find the inventory of the end of January. Now, the strategy used to do this is to do the reverse. We add what we used to subtract and subtract what we used to add. So we'll start with the cost of goods sold, which is 1,000, yes, 400, right? What we want to find is the closing stock. So we're going to add the opening inventory plus the purchases, which will give us 2,700. We're going to subtract it from take the 1,400 from it, and the difference will be, and our answer is 1,300. So D is the appropriate answer. D is the appropriate answer for question 37. Let's move on. Question 38. Question 38 says, item 38 refers to the following balance sheet information provided for a firm as at the 1st of January 2012, and they've given us this statement. Now the question says, what sum of money is represented by I? Let's look where I is. Okay, I. So we have bank, then accounts receivable, then inventory, then accounts payable. All right, so what does I represent? I represents 3,000. Right? I represent 3,000. The accounts receivable is 3,000. Now, how do we get that? Normally what happens is that we add the total current assets and we subtract it from the total liabilities, yes, and we'll get the working capital. So I would represent 3,000. Okay. All right. So let's move on to question 39. Oh, I'm sorry. Let me correct an information. The answer is really B, 2,000. Right? 2,000. The answer is B, 2,000. Why? So the 3,000 plus the 1,000 will give us 4,000, right? Will give us the 4,000. Now, the liability when subtracted from it, yes, which is $500, yes, the difference is going to be, right, the accounts payable, yes. So accounts payable, hold on, let me just double check this. Okay, just was wanting to make sure that I'm sharing with you the correct response. So the answer is really B, as I said before, right? Was double checking. So 3 plus 2 plus 1, which will be 6. 6 minus the 500 will give us the 5,500, which is the working capital. All right, so the answer really is B. So I'm affirming B to be the appropriate answer. So we're now at 39. Mr. Miguel's capital on the 1st of January was 40,000. And on the 31st of December, $85,000. He withdrew $1,000 in inventory during the year. What is his profit for the year? So let us look at it. Again, his capital, he started with a capital of $40,000 and he ended the year with $85,000 and he had a joins of $1,000. All right, so we're going to work backwards now, right? We're going to work backwards. We want to know what is his profit. So we're starting with the 85. So the 85, we're going to add what we used to subtract and subtract what we used to add. So the 85,000 plus the drawings we used to subtract, we're going to add it, which is going to be 86,000. Take away 40,000 from it, and we're going to end up with 46,000. The answer is B. Let's go to 40. So that was 39 rather. Let's go to 40, question 40. According to the terms of a partnership agreement, partner A is to be credited with a salary of $5,000 per year. How will this be recorded in the books? All right. C is your most appropriate answer. We're going to debit the appropriation account and credit the partner's current account. Right? That is question 40. Let's go to 41. Tom and Percy and John formed a partnership and agreed that profits were to be shared in the ratio 1:1:2, respectively. The net profit for the year was $18,900. What is John's share of the profits? And our answer is B, $9,450. How did we get that? Now, we're asked about John's portion of the profit. Now, John is getting a half of the monies. Yes, because it's a ratio of 1:1:2. So we add all of the figures in the ratio that gets given. So that will be 4. 2/4 is the same as a half. So we find a half of 18,900, and the answer is B. All right, let's go to question 42. Question 42 says, the total capital in a partnership is 30,000. Rose contributed 77,000 rather, not 70, 7,000 in cash and a motor vehicle worth 3,000. Rose's contribution to the partnership would be recorded in the journal as, and we go to C. Yes, look at C. What is he bringing to the partnership? $7,000 cash. So the company, the business is receiving $7,000 cash and a motor vehicle valuing $3,000. And that represents his capital, Rose's capital. So C is the most appropriate answer. Let's go now to question 43. Question 43 relates to, shows an amount of capital invested by 4 persons in a partnership. And they are W, X, Y, Z. Now, the question asked of us is the partners share profit and losses in the proportion of their capital. What is Z's share of the profit of 7,200? How do we do that? All right, we are going to be taking the third digits because there's a commonality. We can cancel out all the zeros. They are all 100. So we cancel out all the zeros and we're left with W at 3, X at 2, Y at 1, and Z at 3. We are going to add all of those figures. So 3 plus 2 plus 1, that is 6 plus 3, that is 9. So for Z, it will be 3/9 times $7,200. And what is the answer then? You should get D, which is 2,400. Question 44. Mrs. Allen invested $20,000. Mrs. Brown invested $5,000. Mr. Capel invested $5,000 in the same business. The loss sustained during the year was $1,000. The partnership agreement is silent on the item of losses, although profit are to be split in the ratio of 2 to 2 to 1 in favor of Allen Brown and Cable, respectively. How much of the loss must be borne by Mr. Cable? Well, we're going to use the ratio presented, 2 to 2 to 1, which is going to be 5. Cable is 5, so it's going to be 1 over 5, 1/5. So we find 1/5 of the $1,000, which is the loss, and that answer is $200. So A is the appropriate answer. For question 47. Question 47 says, a company earns a net profit of $60,000 for the year ended 30th of September 2014. Proposed dividends were ordinary shares of $10,000, preference shares of $15,000. The company decided to transfer $8,000 to a general reserve. The retained earnings, on 30th of September 2014 were. This question is dealing with company accounts. Have you seen that? So we're doing the appropriation section for the company accounts. All right. So they're asking us the retained earnings, on September 30, 2014. What would it be? So let's go from the top. We have $60,000 for the net profit. Yes. We're going to be subtracting the dividends for ordinary shares and preference shares. That would amount to $25,000. And we're going to set aside an amount for general reserve of $8,000. That too, so the $25,000 plus the $8,000 will be added together, subtracted from the $60,000, and then our answer would be $27,000. So the $27,000 will be the retained profit. Retained earnings rather. Question 46. Question 46 says, SK Limited was given permission to offer for sale 10,006% preference shares at $5 each and 20,000 ordinary shares at $3 each. All of the preference shares and 3/4 of the ordinary shares were fully paid up. What was the amount of the authorized share capital? Well, authorized share capital is the maximum amount that they have set out to use in the business, right? So it would be the 10,006% shares at $5 each. So you multiply the 5 times the 10,000, yes? And the ordinary shares would be 20,000 times the 3, right? 3 to 6, that will be 60,000. So when we add both, we should get a total of 110,000. So the authorized share capital then should be $110,000. That's D. Let's go to question 47. Question 47 tells us that a public limited company issued a prospectus offering the shares described in the table below for sales at par value. So we are seeing ordinary shares and preference shares. They have been listed. The question to us is, the issue was fully subscribed. How much capital, did the company raise? So all we're going to do is multiply the 200,000 times 2 and then the 10,000 times 5, and we add those two totals and we should get an amount of $450,000. Let's go to question 48. Question 48 says, when a company declares a dividend of 15%, the dividend warrant sent to the shareholder who owes $1,500 $1 ordinary shares is, so let's go again. The company declares a dividend of 15%. The dividend warrant sent to the shareholder who owns $1,501 share. All right, so we 15% of the amount of $1,500 would be, and our answer is B, $225 would be the appropriate answer. Question 49. Question 49 says, if the members of a business organization form its management and credit committees, the entity or organization can best be described as, and our answer is D, a cooperative business, yes? So now we're at question 50. Item 50 refers to the following, and they have given us the appropriation account. And the question asked is, what conclusions could be drawn from the above appropriation account? Let's examine it. All that is here listed. All right, what can be drawn? The company is engaged in a profitable enterprise. The company is not doing well. And the third option is more dividend can be given to the ordinary shareholders. All right, we're sticking with one only. The company is engaged in a profitable enterprise. Why? Look at it, their net profit. The net profit is $26,106. So it's a profitable enterprise. All right, so we're agreeing, we're concluding that one is the answer. Okay, so let's move on to question 51. Item 51 refers to the following summary of receipts and payments for a club at the 1st of March. And they ask us, what is the cash balance at the 31st of March? So we're looking at a receipt and payment account, which is the same thing as a cash book. What are the items that would be on the debit side and the credit side? Let's look at it. Subscription received would be on the what now? It's money received, so it'll be debit side. All right. We would have rent paid, that money that's going to be on the credit side. Purchases, credit side. Purchases of games and equipment, credit side. Postage of circulars, credit side. Proceeds of book sale, debit side. So the first and last 300, the subscription received and the proceeds, we're going to be add together, which is going to be 550. We're subtracting from the rent paid, the purchases, and the postage. And our answer would be C, 320 rather. 320. Let's go to 52. 52 says, the income and expenditure account shows and our answer is income earned and expenditure incurred for the period. Yes? That is our answer is B. Okay. So now we are at question 53. Item refers to the following table, which shows balances of the asset account of Payroll. It's Payroll Club as at the 30th of June 2012. So they have given us this information with the asset listed and their totals, and we're asked the amount of the accumulated fund. Now, accumulated fund is the same thing as capital. So we add all the assets subtracted from the liability to give us our accumulated fund. If there be no liability, then we add just all the assets, and so asset is equal to capital. And what we're looking at here, premises, equipment, furniture, bank, and cash, inventory, refreshment are all assets. So we add all of that information and it will be equal to the accumulated fund. From the calculation that we have done, the answer is, yes, the answer is D, $9,897. All right, Let's move on to the next question. 54. Item 54 refers to the following, and they have given us here 40 plus golf club, and they given us a statement here, and we're asked which of the following best describes I. Let's look for I. Where is I? Yes, that's information here. And let's go to the answer. We see it at the top there, so that's a title. What title is that for I? Yes, and they ask for I, and what is for 2, which is there shown in the table. All right, so let's look what would be the most appropriate. It is an income statement, income and expenditure account. So D is going to be the correct answer. And this information that we're seeing here would have been the subscription received. So D is the appropriate answer. Item 55 says P. Hark has a manufacturing business. The cost of his raw material is $1,900. Rates and rent total $2,000, and the factory wages amounted to $2,500. The number of units produced is 640. What is the cost of 1 unit? Now let's look at the question again. So the cost of raw material is $1,900. So we're going to add that. And the rates and rent will be the overhead. So we add that as well. The wages. So we're going to add all 3 figures. The 1,900 plus the 2,000 plus the 2,500. We'll add all 3 items. And the total we receive, we will now be dividing the 640 into it. And our answer should be 10, which is C. C is the correct answer, 10. Item 56. Item 56 tells us that J. Barnes manufacturing account for the year ended December 31st. What's the question they're asking us? What is the cost of the raw material consumed? Let's look at it. The cost of raw material consumed, yes, would be the $3,900. Yes, $3,900. Okay, let's go to question 57. So that 3,900 is going to be C. Question 57. Question 57 says the item of raw material inventory, work in progress inventory, and finished goods inventory are most likely referred to as what now? B, part of the shoe factory, right? Part of the shoe factory. Item 58, S&B Limited net profit for the year was $89,000. Of this amount, $8,000 was referred to general reserve. Preference share dividends paid was $2,400. Ordinary dividends proposed was $6,000. Yes, $6,500. The value of the retained profit for the year was, and our answer is $7,100. Let's go to 59. Yes, it says here that Amos is paid at a rate of $7 per hour for a basic 40-hour pay during the week of 6th of April 2012. He worked a basic week of 40 hours. The income tax due on his pay is $20. Social Security is 5% of the gross, and the answer is 246. That is A. Our last question is which of the following are considered to be statutory deductions when preparing employees' earning records? And our answer is C, 2 and 3, income tax and national insurance. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for joining me. Hope this video was useful to help you to prepare for your examination. If you like this video, please click the like button and of course subscribe by clicking the subscribe button and the bell, and you will always receive message and the information so soon as we upload a new lesson. Thank you very much.